The global fighter jet market was never supposed to shake like this. For decades, one company stood above the restand challenged, politically protected, and financially unstoppable. Lockheed Martin's F-35 program was marketed not just as a fighter jet, but as the future of Western air power. Allies were told there was no alternative, either buy American or fall behind. F-35 was positioned as a symbol of technological superiority, a guarantee of interoperability among NATO allies, and the ultimate deterrent in modern warfare. Countries that hesitated were portrayed as falling behind, risking national security and strategic relevance. But now, something unexpected is happening, quietly, rapidly, and dangerously for Lockheed Martin. A $4 billion shockwave is spreading through the defense industry as Sweden's Gripen fighter jet begins dominating markets once considered untouchable. From the Arctic North to Southern Europe, 7 countries are rethinking decades-old plans, canceling, delaying, or re-evaluating F-35 purchases. This isn't just about numbers, it's about strategy, independence, and redefining the rules of air power. The reasons behind this seismic shift go far beyond price. While Lockheed Martin spent billions lobbying, marketing, and guaranteeing F-35 dominance, Saab quietly evolved its Gripen program over decades. The latest variant, the Gripen E, is a technological marvel. Its advanced AESA radar can detect threats at extreme ranges. It boasts electronic warfare capabilities comparable to much larger aircraft. Operational costs are often 60% lower than F-35 maintenance, and the jet integrates seamlessly with NATO and non-NATO systems alike. Gripen also demonstrates unmatched versatility in extreme climates, from the icy Arctic tundra to arid desert conditions, making it a truly global fighter. What the world didn't anticipate was Sweden's aggressive, politically savvy marketing strategy, targeting nations seeking independence from American military influence. It started with Portugal, a relatively small European nation that quietly signed a Gripen E deal. Officials cited cost efficiency, operational flexibility, and autonomy as primary reasons. This seemingly minor purchase sent shockwaves through the industry. Brazil, historically a longtime supporter of Gripen, accelerated its procurement plans after Portugal's decision, weighing Gripen heavily over the F-35 for modernization. Canada, under mounting political scrutiny over a planned $27 billion F-35 purchase, began an intense re-evaluation. Gripen's lower cost, simplified maintenance, and operational independence became irresistible. Switzerland, with a long tradition of strict neutrality, found Gripen ideal, fully modern yet free from American political influence. Together, these nations formed the epicenter of what analysts now call the Gripen Domino effect. This shift is more than lost contract sits, a loss of influence. Lockheed Martin invested heavily in production lines, pilot training, and global lobbying. Every canceled or delayed F-35 purchase represents not just billions in lost revenue, but strategic leverage over allied air forces. The $4 billion figure represents the immediate shortfall, but long-term losses could be 3 to 4 times higher if the trend continues. Investors and defense analysts are watching closely as Lockheed Martin stock and U.S. defense policy come under scrutiny. Gripen offers operational freedom unlike the F-35 countries. Adopting Lockheed's fighter often become dependent on US parts, maintenance schedules, and political approvals for upgrades or operational use. Gripen, by contrast, allows nations to maintain full control over their fleets, train pilots independently, and integrate domestic systems at will. For countries wary of political pressure or seeking diversified suppliers, this autonomy is a game changer. Cost considerations further favor Gripen. F-35 maintenance is notoriously expensive. Each flight hour can exceed tens of thousands of dollars, with total lifecycle costs often surpassing $100 million per aircraft. Gripen is engineered for cost efficiency, lighter maintenance schedules, affordable spare parts, minimal operational downtime, and simpler logistics chains. For mid-sized nations with tighter defense budgets, the financial argument is compelling and politically appealing. Political implications are equally profound. By selecting Gripen, countries signal strategic independence. They avoid over-reliance on American military infrastructure, maintain greater control over classified data, and diversify defense procurement. NATO allies, long accustomed to defaulting aircraft, are now quietly exploring alternatives. The domino effect accelerates with each Gripen deal, encouraging neighboring countries to reassess, creating a cascade of potential F-35 cancellations. Industrial benefits also play a major role. Gripen buyers often gain technology transfer agreements, local assembly rights, and opportunities to integrate domestic systems. Emerging air forces can acquire modern jets, develop local aerospace expertise, and avoid political entanglement. Combination that F-35 programs, tightly controlled by Lockheed Martin and U.S. authorities, rarely offer. Lockheed Martin's response has been cautious but revealing. Internal memos showed genuine concern over Gripen's growing presence, particularly in regions traditionally considered secure F-35 markets. Analysts speculate that the company may pursue aggressive lobbying, political pressure, or price adjustments to counter the Gripen threat. But time is short. Deals once considered guaranteed are slipping away, putting billions in projected revenue at risk. From North America to Europe and South America, military planners are revising strategy documents. F-35 squadrons, planned years in advance, are being delayed or replaced by Gripen programs. Defense ministers cite operational flexibility, cost-effectiveness, and technological autonomy as reasons to switch. The domino effect is no longer hypothetically, it's a reality. The Gripen story highlights a broader trend. Smaller, agile defense companies can challenge industry giants if they deliver price, technology, and political independence. The global fighter jet market, once dominated by Lockheed Martin and a few others, is now highly competitive. Countries seeking sovereignty in defense procurement have real alternatives for the first time in decades. The U.S. defense establishment faces unprecedented challenges. The F-35 program was intended to secure technological superiority for decades. Now, with Gripen entering previously untouchable markets, Washington confronts both economic and strategic consequences. Policymakers must decide whether to double down on expensive programs, offer concessions, or reconsider export restrictions and incentives. Saab's success is built on meticulous planning, incremental upgrades, and strategic patience. Gripen E addresses the practical needs of mid-sized air forces: affordability, adaptability, and autonomy. It's more than a fighter jet's, a political statement, modernized without surrendering strategic control. Canada's reconsideration of its F-35 purchase is the most high. Political debates in Ottawa now emphasize cost, operational readiness, and sovereignty. Gripen could save billions over the next decade while providing Arctic-capable operations, something F-35s would require costly modifications to achieve. Brazil accelerates Gripen procurement, enhancing regional influence and domestic aerospace capability. Switzerland signals neutrality, reject an automatic reliance on U.S. technology while acquiring modern air defense capabilities. Other countries quietly assess Gripen versus F-35, factoring cost, political implications, maintenance, pilot training, and future upgrades. Each positive evaluation reinforces the Gripen domino effect. In the Middle East and Asia, Gripen's adaptability, cost-effectiveness, and political independence appeal even to nations historically aligned with American defense programs. The Gripen domino effect is reshaping defense contracting strategies. Lockheed Martin's traditional advantage being the default choice is disappearing. Saab demonstrates that intelligence, agility, and strategic positioning can offset the scale and marketing power of an American giant. F-35 production schedules are being reevaluated. Delays, cancellations, and renegotiations are likely. Political pressure on the U.S. grows as allies quietly express dissatisfaction. Every Gripen deal is more than a purchase, it's a statement. Modern air forces can choose autonomy, efficiency, and flexibility over the dominance of a single supplier. Smaller nations and mid-tier powers now leverage intelligent procurement to maximize both defense capability and sovereignty. As the global fighter jet market enters this new era, Lockheed Martin faces historic challenges. The Gripen domino effect is rewriting the rules of air power procurement. For 7 countries and potentially many more, the choice is clear. Follow traditional paths dictated by established powers, or embrace a more independent future in the skies? The $4 billion shock is just the beginning. The dominoes are falling as Gripen quietly disrupts decades of established defense hierarchy. Strategic autonomy, affordability, and innovation prove that even the mightiest programs are vulnerable. 7 nations and, possibly many more, are quietly rewriting the rules of air power, showing that smaller, smarter, and agile solutions can topple giants.